Okay, an acronym for insurance. What is insurance? Why is insurance really ungodly? What is insurance? Insurance is security purchased uh, seeking protection by a guarantee of compensation and usually for money or with money or for loss. Uh, Perfect example is let's just say a diamond ring, and it's a big one and it's insured. And somebody steals it. You call the insurance man that you've been paying on every month for when you signed a contract for their protection on this particular ring that you own. They come out, they investigate, they write you a check for whatever thousands it is to replace your stolen ring. And basically, you can apply the same line of thinking on any kind of loss, even insurance for cars. If you suffer a mistake and you cause a wreck or somebody else, then the insurance company will compensate you, fix your car, fix their cars to the degree of whatever contract you purchase of coverage you've set up. What is the most detrimental thing to a Christian besides sin in the big picture of faith? Right? Would it not be the disassembling and removal of faith in their lives? Now, faith is relying upon, believing in, hoping in something. And a Christian, that would be in the Son, Jesus Christ, who was sent for the sins of the world to restore relationship with God the Father, who will be returning. Therefore, we try to conform our lives to the Holy Bible, which portrays Christ's life and God's wills, ways, wants, laws, morals, values, and principles. And then we apply them to our life, and then we live accordingly. That's what being righteous, living a right life, keeping yourself unspotted, abstaining from evil, and so on, is all about. The acronym for insurance hasn't been easy. Because there's so many things involved. In fact, as we speak, the last NC&E on it is I have still different ideas on that. But the first portion of insurance is number one, insurance overall is a direct assault against faith in God by doubting God is who he says he is. If he's not omnipotent, omnipresent, right, omniscient, and so on, then he's not God. Okay. And so, if you have possessions that God has granted you, then surely God can protect those possessions. If you rely totally on God, then you don't need any insurance. In fact, there was no insurance in existence 160 years ago. And insurance is all about money, for money, by money, with money, pay off in money. even if it's just workers that come to your house to put a new roof on for your homeowners. It would still involve money to hire them and buy the supplies. And the interesting thing about insurance is it's not usually forced upon us, but there are exceptions. And for instance, we in our state you have to have insurance for your car, and so we maintain the minimum of the state legalities for liability for our vehicles only, not a penny more, because we want to obey every ordinance of man, as 1 Peter 2:13 says. That that is not an ungodly law. And of course, that can be carried too far too, depending on what a state or government mandates, even within the realm of insurances. But it's something we initiate. That is, we institute it. We sign on to it. We search it out. We try to find the best price, the best policy, the best deductibles, which is you absorbing the initial part of whatever loss it is that you're involved in. That's the I. We initiate or institute insurance. N of insurance is it's never ending and it's non-essential. Never ending because you pay premiums till the day you die if you're an insurance person. And everybody I know is. Very few have abandoned insurance like we have, which is a testimony in and of itself. So, insurance. When we moved here in the farm 20 years ago, I had $180,000 worth of life insurance. 20 years ago, so I'd have been 40, 43, 44, something like that. We had $657 for full replacement of the house if it burned down at today's cost type of deal. Full replacement cost. But as I grew closer to the Lord, as I studied more and more, as I went on, I within myself and God and the Holy Bible, I've come upon what I'm sharing with you today. There are extreme issues with insurance and its purposes, and a Christian and his beliefs and faith. And so I prayed about it, and then I went to Susan and I said, okay, dear, would you rather have the $180,000 in insurance and cash or Jesus? And I didn't press her to give her a little time, whatever. She said, well, I'll take Jesus. Okay. I said, well, that same thing applies to the house insurance and every kind of insurance. And explained to her what I'm telling you today. So for me and my house, that was it. We canceled the life insurance. We canceled the homeowners 20 years ago, believing that God would fully take care of her if I died and our things that God has given us in our lives. And most Christians think we were insane. What if? It's always, what if? What if your house burns down? What if this? What if that? Well, what if? Let's say it does. For instance, the Mennonites out here and the Amish and so on, they don't have insurance. Why? Because they take care of each other in a godly fashion, biblical way. In other words, if my house was to burn down and I was a member of that community, let's say there's 50 households out there. You go to church with them, you live with them, you die with them. They come out, all of them in force, stop what they're doing to the degree that they can, and they build you another house in a matter of days. And if you don't have the money, the material, then a whole community pitches together and you have a new house. And that's how they do it. And that's the way it should be done. And then the lesson from that house burning down obviously has to be learned. There are no such thing as accidents. If your house burns down, God allowed it. And so, insurance is very, very interesting subject. So, we're going to make this a two-part series, keep it to about 10 minutes each. So this is part one. Have a good day. Get in the Word. Stay in the Word. We ended on insurance, and IN is non-essential and never-ending. And the S is security. Insurance is all about security. Security, just in case. That's a way of sleeping that day. Took a vacation and your stuff gets damaged. Think about it. And then we're going to relate it to firearms at the very end of this. And self-defense. Really interesting topic. Good day.